Ready?
Ready.
I'm talking to myself, actually.
Oh, great.
Do you know what a third culture kid is?
Like in the literal sense?
I would say someone that associates himself with a culture different from the majority of the people around him and the country that he is in at the moment, if I had to take a guess.
Well... probably 3 different cultures together? Is that? My name is Joey Miranda, but my full name is Joaquim Gomez de Miranda.
Where would you say you're from?
Well, cue the identity crisis.
Born in Rio de Janeiro, moved here when I was 6. But yeah, born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. My family and I moved to Italy when I was 12 to 14. So I went to school there, so I learned a bit of Italiano. Even though everyone always says I'm Italian when I say that for some reason, but I'm really not 100% Brazilian, which is actually another question I get. Are you 100% Brazilian? Yeah, mum and dad. Yeah, which is funny.
So when someone asks me this question, I basically tell them that I'm of Iraqi origin, born in the United Kingdom here in London, and lived in the Middle East for my whole life. So that's where I'll say where I'm from.
Do I relate to a specific culture?
If I could fit in with someone who's British and someone who's Iraqi, the answer is no, like definitely big time no.
Probably no. I don't really relate to Brazilian culture. I'm not British, so, but probably the one that I'm closely resemble my vibe to is probably British culture.
Where am I actually from? So I'd say my ethnicity.
Yeah, I take it people want to know where I was born, so I kind of answer with that. I think straight away I kind of go, since I was 6 and then I moved here. And it kind of answers a lot of questions, I think.
I have the tendency to act differently depending with who I am. Very much so.
They would probably be very excited because Brazilians love Brazilians and they love Brazilian things. How I'd interact with them is probably trying to ignore the fact that they're Brazilian, if I'm being completely honest. I tend to stay away from the stereotypical Brazilian conversation as much as possible. I've got a couple of really close friends that are Brazilian, but we all mutually agreed to speak English to each other and not bring up much Brazilian talk.
Perhaps it's wrong letting other people kind of indirectly control how I act, but yeah, I do that. And I think that's something that most people who are not third culture, they perhaps don't appreciate. And of course, I'm not blaming them in any way. It's just, it's not something that you comprehend, but because I've been through it, like I used to go with one group and I used to act a certain way. And I'm not act a certain way, but just you know, think a certain way, say things that are more relatable to them perhaps. And then go to a different group and I would be entirely different. And what I used to hate is because I went to a very diverse international school, there was everyone, there was Arabs, English, everyone from everywhere in the world. When those two groups clashed and I was there, so say like my English friends and my Arab friends, and I was there at the same time, I would just go into crisis mode. The clash between the two groups and how to act, like it literally just tears me apart. Like it's like someone just with a knife and just went right through me.
Do you feel like it is not socially acceptable to be from more than one country?
I think that's completely alien in London.
I think it's easier to be from one. I don't think it's fully possible to be in 2 different cultures at the same time. Fully integrated into 2 cultures at the same time, I don't think that's possible.
I think if you're from London, I think that's alien. I think that's weird. Not that it's weird, but like, I don't think that's as normal as you'd find someone who is from Timbuktu or something. What's my definition of culture?
Language is the biggest part, absolutely.
For me, I think culture put very simply, is just the way you do things. I think it's just the way that you do things around where you are.
And I would say language is all of it. It's everything. If I could speak Arabic absolutely 100% fluently and understand all the dialects, I would have no problem at all integrating with the Arab world.
For me, there's been a blend of different cultures. Obviously, being raised by my parents, but also going to school here in London, but then going to school in Milan, and then coming back. I think one of the reasons why I like London so much is because it relates so much to me, with the fact that there's people all around London with very similar stories to mine, where they're in a country that's not their own, but they've taken ownership of it. So I think there's a blend of everything that my parents have given me, everything that the school system has given me here in the UK, but also in Italy. But it's a brand new culture that is my own, and yeah.
In regard to being unique, I would definitely say so. I would definitely say there are a lot of advantages in this respect of being in between two cultures. In that, like, I can consider myself a part of both cultures and at the same time not a part of both cultures, say Arab culture, British culture. I think I am in a position to actually step back, look at both and say, in my opinion, they are both as equally bad as each other, and at the same time both as equally good as each other. So it does give me a unique perspective that I think people from one culture, because, well, not their fault, but perhaps they think more in a more linear fashion. So.
So can you look at the camera and say where you're from? Just say, I am from...
I can't do that.
You can't.
I can't do that. I cannot do that.
My name is Joey, or Joe Quim, and I'm from these places.
Nice.